It's America's Ryder Cup. The most amazing Ryder Cup we've seen.
Hello and welcome to Sky Studios in London for a very special occasion. I'm joined here in the studio by European Ryder Cup captain Thomas Bjorn, who'll shortly reveal his 4 wildcard picks, thus finalising his team to face the USA and France in 3 weeks' time and try to win back this coveted trophy. Two years ago in Minnesota, the Americans were victorious.
It's America's Ryder Cup after a glittering show in Minnesota.
But recent history has been dominated by the boys in blue.
United States of America sentenced to another 2 years in the Ryder doldrums.
8 players have already cemented their place in the team, and they're about to be joined by 4 more, making up the chosen 12 to represent Europe in the Ryder Cup. Confirmation then of the 8 automatic qualifiers. Molinari, Rose, Hatton and Fleetwood all earned their places via the European points list, while Ram, McIlroy, Noren and Olesen all made the team courtesy of the world points tally. Which means we have 4 wildcard mystery men to reveal today. And the man who's going to do that is Thomas Bjorn. Thomas, this is probably the worst part of the job for you or for any captain, but what's it been like for you over particularly the past 48 hours?
Yeah, there's been a lot of thought. You know, there's been so many guys in Europe that's done so well this year, and it's a bit of a sign of where European golf is, but obviously there's a lot of guys that deserves a lot of thinking about, and yeah, it's not been the easiest, but on the other hand, it's a privileged situation to be in for me, having that many to choose from, and yeah, in the end you have to make some choices, and yeah, it's not been all easy, but it's a great position to be in.
In some ways, having more contenders, maybe 10 in total, makes it on the one hand difficult, but at least the people who didn't get chosen maybe understand the level of competition.
Yeah, there's a certain level of that, but you know, a professional sportsman still drives his career to making big occasions. So, yeah, there was a couple of disappointed people on the phone yesterday, and you know, that's a part and parcel of the game, and it was tough phone calls, but it's you know, it's about the 4 that made it and the other 8 that made it on merit, and you know, these are the 12 we can go with, and we look forward to that.
Okay, the world is waiting, Thomas, so let's get to the good bit and unveil your first choice.
Well, my first pick is Paul Casey.
You see, that's all the confirmation you need. But Paul Casey, you were instrumental in bringing him back into the Ryder Cup fold. How important has it been to you to see him there, and what has he given you in return?
Now, but Paul's commitment to what he wants to do with playing back in a Ryder Cup team after 10 years is, you know, the conversations we had, he's really shown that he's missed this part of his life, and he wanted to get back, and with a win earlier this year, he's really done well to get back in the frame, and it really was a no-brainer for me to bring him back. And
he has that Ryder Cup pedigree as well, going back to that famous hole-in-one, which I suppose are the things that we never forget.
No, but he's world-class, Paul. You know, he's, you know, these are the things that he, I'm not saying making hole-in-ones is what he does, and hopefully he does in a few weeks' time, but you know, this is what he does. He brings world-class golf to the team, and he's a wonderful match player as well. So great to have him back.
And when you have a player in mind, any Ryder Cup captain, when he goes on and gives you, you know, the confirmation of a win in a big event like he did this year, you mentioned at the Valspar, and it was pretty impressive because he had waited some time for that.
Yeah, I mean, he sometimes gets shot at him that he can't close it out, and I don't really see him like that. I see Paul as a player that's always thereabout, and he's just has that demeanor about him that when he gets in those tough situations, he wants it really bad. And in golf, sometimes it goes the right way or the wrong way. But in the Ryder Cup, he's shown he has the pedigree to be in this team.
Okay, that's one chosen. One face is revealed. And wildcard number 2 coming up. Thomas, who have you picked?
Well, my second pick is Sergio Garcia.
Well, somewhere in the background, Sergio will be listening to that. I'm sure he'll love it, because it's been a difficult time for him, and probably a difficult time for you, wondering whether to have him in the team or not. I mean, you can't get away from the fact that people have been questioning his form of late. Yeah,
but you've got to look at Sergio in certain ways. You know, the one thing about Sergio is he's the heartbeat of the team, and I've always said this about him, that, you know, it's like a football team going without their captain. You know, that's what he is. He comes in that team room, and people have experienced Sergio in the team room around the Ryder Cup team realises how much he brings to it. Not only is he a fantastic golfer, and he goes out on the golf course and does what he does in Ryder Cups, and we've seen it time after time, but what he also brings is that he makes everybody around him better. He is just everything that team room is. And we talked about it a lot. What is it that is great about a European team room? Well, he is what's great about the European team room. He is what everything that's European Ryder Cup is all about. And over the years, from when he set out with Jesper Parnevik in 1999 and all the way through, he missed 2010 when he was struggling with his game. But I watched him as a player, I watched him as a vice captain, and there's just something about him, and I, for one, have so much belief that he's going to go to France and deliver as he normally does in the team, on the golf course, but as important off the golf course.
How much were you influenced by the fact that you have 5 rookies in the team when you were picking someone like Sergio?
Yeah, I mean, it plays in, because 5 rookies, we got 5 great rookies, and we'll get to that later, talking about the 8 that's in there, but we do have 5 great rookies in the team. But you need people like this. You need people that's been there, done it all, and been through it all, positively and negatively. Sergio is, for me, the one person that I really feel like I can trust with everything that we do that's Ryder Cup.
Okay, 2 out of 4 then we have, and we're on the way to getting all 4. So Paul Casey and Sergio Garcia. Who's next, Thomas?
Well, the next one is probably no surprise to most people, and that's Ian Poulter.
I suspect that everyone expected it, not a surprise, but it must have weighed in your mind at some point in the year, what happens if I don't pick Poulter, and what will happen to me? But he made it easy for you, do you think?
Well, when he won in Houston, I thought he was on the track to become part of this team. You know, there's a thing about Ian when he gets confident and when he gets believing. And I met him in the parking lot at Augusta, and that's where he just kind of went, okay, I'm going to make this Ryder Cup team, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to do everything for it. He normally hits that European badge that hard, and that's what he's all about, doing it on the big stage. He's a man for the occasion. He really is just a special person that week. Both him and Sergio, sometimes you feel like they should have been footballers because they like that team sport so much, and that's what they bring to a Ryder Cup team. And
what he did there, what we've been watching, did that seal his place?
No, but I think the way he kept playing and the way he kept talking about this was the only real main focus of his. He was back in that frame of mind that we like seeing him in, and that for me is the important thing. Winning golf tournaments is important, but the frame of mind and what you want to achieve and how you want to go into a Ryder Cup is really important. And he does it probably better than anybody else. So
3 out of 4, and certainly 2 of them were expected. In the case of Ian Poulter and Paul Casey, Sergio was the one that we waited on. But the 4th, interesting, on you go.
Well, the last one is Henrik Stenson.
Well, approval all round, and Henrik will enjoy that. But again, he's had some injury problems. How much of a worry was that for you?
Yeah, he had a pretty decent start to the season, and he did well in the US Open and in the Masters, and you know, he was putting in good performances, maybe not winning as much as Henrik is used to, but when it came down to it, he ran into an injury there just before the Open Championship, and we had long conversations, but those conversations have continued, and Henrik's focus then changed from his personal achievement to wanting to be ready for the Ryder Cup. And as soon as we had those conversations, and I knew where his focus was, it really wasn't a big problem for me to pick him, because I feel like he is, the stature that he brings, the calmness that he brings in the team room, the person that he is, he's great at looking after some of the youngsters. He's just a very good guy to have around, and just a strong player.
And of course, it's a partnership that we talk about, isn't it?
Well, this is what all four brings. You know, they're easy for me to partner up with other players in this, amongst those 8 that's already qualified. You know, this was a very strong partnership that has built over the years. And you know, these 2 guys love each other, and they will find it, Justin would find it difficult to be at a Ryder Cup at this moment in time if Henrik is not there. You know, that's the things that you've got to look at. You've got to look at how other players react as well to the players that are coming in. And you know, these 4 all bring so much to the Ryder Cup. You know, they bring loads of experience, loads of appearances, loads of points won, and they know what it's like to win and lose, and they'll come in with heart and soul into this.
So it's done now, Thomas. You can relax from now on. The 4 wildcard picks are completed. There they are: Paul Casey, Sergio Garcia, Ian Poulter, and finally Henrik Stenson. All that's in alphabetical order. So we can see the completed team. We talked about the 8 automatic places, and of course the wildcard picks marked with the asterisk. And when you look at that team, Captain Thomas Bjorn, what do you feel?
Well, you know, if I'd written down 12 names before I started my captaincy journey, it wouldn't have been far away from this. So I'm very delighted with this team. I'm very proud of being captain for these 12 players. They bring so much to European golf, and that they're just a fantastic group of guys. We know what we're up against. We know what America brings, but I'm confident that this is a group of guys that can do the job.
I think we concur with that, Thomas. So that's your team finalised, and of course having the 4 wildcard picks now in those players we've talked about, and Paul Casey, and with all that background and all that confidence. Sergio Garcia and Mr. Ryder Cup, Ian Poulter, together with the final choice, Henrik Stenson. We'll be talking to them after the break. They booked their tickets to Paris.
Italian Open number 2 for Francesco Molinari. Yes, he's made it, of course he's made it. Brilliant performance by Francesco Molinari. Justin Rose. Justin Rose strikes the first blow. What a performance. Fabulous goal from Tyrrell Hatton. What a finish.
The race to Dubai champion, Tommy Fleetwood.
He's made it, of course he's made it. And another terrific round of golf by the Englishman. Oh, get in. Oh, John Rahm.
What is this kid like?
He's holding straight in for Rory McIlroy. Is there anything that this man can do? What an exhibition by Alex Noren.
Brilliant stuff, Alex Noren. My goodness, 62, 11 under par. What a round of golf.
And it's Torbjorn in Turkey.
Torbjorn Olesen has won for the 5th time in the European Tour.
Welcome back. The European Ryder Cup team is complete. These are the players who had qualified automatically. Tommy Fleetwood, Tyrrell Hatton, Rory McIlroy, Francesco Molinari, Alex Noren, Torbjorn Olesen, Jon Rahm and Justin Rose. And just within the last few minutes, they've been joined by Thomas Bjorn's wildcard choices. There they are: Paul Casey, Sergio Garcia, Ian Poulter, and finally Henrik Stenson. So out there we have all 4 wildcard picks standing by, and we're heading first of all to Spain. And as you'd expect from that, so we're linking up with Sergio Garcia. Sergio, can you hear me?
How are you? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, good to hear you. Nice to see you in the sunshine of Spain, Sergio. I'm sure you've been listening and you know obviously what's happened. You have said so often that the Ryder Cup is just part of your blood. How does it feel to have Thomas Bjorn place this faith in you, given that perhaps over the year you've had a disappointing one?
Yeah, obviously it feels amazing. I'm very thankful to Thomas and for believing in me. And you know, I know that it probably wasn't an easy decision. I mean, he knows what I bring to the team, not only game-wise, but inside the team room. Yeah, you know, it's been a tough year. Obviously, you know, it's the kind of year that, you know, a few of those guys that I missed by one shot, you know, if you make the cut and you have a couple good weekends, then it kind of changes a little bit. But you know, I've been working hard. I feel like my game is coming along. Obviously played quite nicely in Greensboro a couple of weeks back, and you know, and now I'm trying to be as ready as I can be to help the European team win that cup back. That's the goal, and that's what we want.
I remember you telling us some time ago that in many ways you're in the wrong sport. You prefer team sports, you prefer football in that respect, and it's something you've had to live with playing on your own all these years. But Thomas talked about it there, that the fact that leaving you out of the Ryder Cup team is like leaving out the captain of the team. Do you get what he's saying there?
Yeah, I totally get it. Obviously, Thomas and I, we've known each other for a long time. We're friends, and we've been talking for quite a bit throughout the year. And I understand what he says. Yeah, everybody knows how much I love the Ryder Cup. Everybody knows how much I love team sports, and I've always really enjoyed football and all those kinds of things. So yeah, it is very exciting for me to be a part of another Ryder Cup team. Obviously, you know, I'm going to give everything that I have, like Thomas was saying, not only on the golf course but on the team room. Make sure that you know, some of those rookies and some of the other guys feel as comfortable as possible. Try to make them better and more comfortable, and you know, hopefully that helps us all to get our goal, which is winning the Ryder Cup again.
Sergio, congratulations. Great to have you on the team again. We'll look forward to seeing you in Paris. In the meantime,
thank you. Rest
up and get your form in best shape for Golf National. Thanks to Sergio Garcia. And well, to confirm just what that record is we talk about, he's only 2.5 points away from equaling Nick Faldo. So that's a splendid record. You can see from the total of the 37 matches played, 22.5 points. And we look forward to that kind of form from Sergio in the 3 weeks ahead. Next up, we're heading to the States to join up with Paul Casey. And Paul, welcome back into the Ryder Cup fold. What does all this mean to you?
It's amazing. It really is. You know, it's been 10 years since I last played a Ryder Cup, and you know, I've put a lot into this. You know, it's tough to explain. So to be standing here right now talking to you with this being confirmed to be on this great 2018, it's an amazing team. I'm very, very honoured. Great to be playing for Captain Bjorn. I'm so excited.
You know, in many ways in your individual game, you've found your time in the wilderness where you had to work your way back right to the top of the game. Did you ever, at any time in that period, feel that maybe you wouldn't see a Ryder Cup again?
Oh yeah, you know, I've had ups and downs in my career, and you know, without question, at times questioned, you know, the success I would have in the future. But I've always stayed very, very consistent, and I've enjoyed the work and stayed, you know, focused on what I was doing in the immediate time. And you know, I've played very, very good golf in the last, you know, 3, 4, 5 years, and put the Ryder Cup into the crosshairs, you know, a couple of years ago, and made this a very, very big goal. Rejoined the tour. You know, I'm playing right now some of the best golf I've ever played, and you know, and I only wanted to be a part of the Ryder Cup team if I felt I could be a great contributor to that, which I know I can be. And once I announced my intentions to Thomas, you know, it was full tilt. So to finally reach that goal, and this is obviously just the tip of the iceberg. We've now got to push on and go to Paris and win. But yeah, so excited to get back to somewhere I feel I belong.
As you said, Thomas played such a big part in getting you back into the Ryder Cup fold. How do you go and repay him now?
With, you know, 100%. You know, we came together earlier this year in Malaysia as a European team there in the Eurasia Cup, and I gave him 100% there on and off the golf course, and that's exactly what I'm going to give Thomas and the other 11 players and the vice captains and everybody in Europe who's going to be watching us and supporting us. You know, I can't tell you how much I'm up for this. You know, last time I played, it was a very different team, and we're going to be playing against what looks like a really great US team so far. 11 of those guys have been announced, and it's a pretty formidable challenge, but I'm up for that. So my record's strong in the Ryder Cup. I love match play. I will do everything I need to you know, get maximum points for the European team, and I can't wait to do it.
We know you're up for it, Paul, and we look forward to seeing your best form in France in 3 weeks' time. Well done. And we'll see from the record books that Paul has indeed always enjoyed the Ryder Cup. Total of 9 matches played, 5 points from that. And of course, a great partner for anyone in the team, and that big win this year that put him right back in the reckoning. So let's head back to America this time and join Ian Poulter. There he is. Ian, we're fed up calling you Mr. Ryder Cup, but you know, you missed out because of various reasons the last time. How does this feel now that you're back?
Yeah, this feels you know, extra special to be part of another Ryder Cup team. For me, is amazing, and you know, for Thomas to give me the call yesterday to say, you know, I'd like you to join this great team means absolutely everything to me. It's going to be an incredible spectacle. It's an extremely strong US team, but when you look at the European team on paper now, you know, I'm getting goosebumps just standing here talking about it. I absolutely can't wait.
And how much does that magical Saturday afternoon in Medina play in your mind when it comes to this time of the calendar?
Yeah, I mean, Medina's obviously a long time ago, but it comes up from time to time. You know, when I think back to that crazy finish on Saturday to, you know, help the team gain a little bit of confidence going into Sunday was a very special moment for me. And, you know, I'll take that for a long time, and I'll keep it with me. It's everything to me is Ryder Cup. And, you know, for me to know I'm going to be part of another team, hopefully a victorious team, and grab hold of that trophy again just keeps me going. It's been a tough 2 years, 208 in the world rankings 2 years ago, and you know, that little gold trophy kept my heart beating, and you know, to be part of that again is magical.
Ian, during that time, we've really loved having you in the Sky Sports team, but you don't really like doing TV, do you?
No, no, I don't. No, I was supposed to be there at the Masters with you guys, having an enjoyable week at Augusta, but I'd rather be inside the ropes. So we managed to win the week before, just so I couldn't be with you in the commentary box.
Great to see you back, Ian, and congratulations once again. We'll see you in France in a couple of weeks' time. And of course, whenever we talk about Medina, it forms part of this amazing record of matches for Ian Poulter. What a percentage of points out of the 18 matches he's played. And as he said himself, and as Thomas mentioned earlier, that win in Houston just before the Masters was really enough to take him back to the top of the game. So let's head out and find the last of our four now, Henrik Stenson. And Henrik, if we can get through this without any jokes, that would be quite good, because we know that there's always a bit of fun in your mind. But this is a serious issue, and Thomas has looked at your form overall. You're laughing already. And, you know, he's picked you. What does that faith that he's had in you mean to you?
No, it means a lot. I got some of my greatest memories from my career is from being part of that European Ryder Cup team. So to get that phone call and to be getting ready to be playing in Paris is just incredible, and I'm super excited, and I'm going to do my very best to show up with the best form possible.
And how do you take your Open Championship winning form forward a couple of years and into the Ryder Cup?
Well, any suggestions, just you can call me when we're done with this. I mean, it's not easy to shake that form out every now and again, is it?
I knew that was coming.
I can even hear some laughter in the background there.
Henrik, there will be a time in the future when you will be a Ryder Cup.
Form like that doesn't come around easy, but...
Sorry, Henrik, the delay...
It doesn't come around easy, that kind of form, but... The
delay got us there, Henrik, but... As I said, you will be a Ryder Cup captain at some time. Would you pick you going into this one?
I wouldn't give you a call if I'm the captain. But yeah, well, I mean, we'll take this playing career first, right? So I'll focus on Paris. It's going to be a great venue. Like I said, super excited to be joining the guys there, and Europe has as strong of a team as we've ever had. So does the American team. So it's all set for possibly the greatest battle ever.
Thanks, Henrik. And yes, you do have our numbers in every sense, Henrik. So we look forward to seeing what you do in France in a couple of weeks, and it will add to an illustrious Ryder Cup record, which has seen you partner some of the great players. And of course, the total 16 matches, we've seen this relationship between total matches played and points won, and it's pretty special. 50% there, which in the Ryder Cup, when you're paired with other players, is pretty good. So that's our 4 wildcard picks, and you've enjoyed that, Thomas, because I think probably what we've seen there is an illustration of the 4 personalities that you've brought into the team.
Yeah, but it doesn't surprise, you know, when you've been part of Ryder Cup teams, it doesn't surprise you how these 4 are. You know, they obviously desperately want to be part of it, and as soon as they get the phone call, their mind goes straight back into, okay, we've got to try and achieve something in Paris. And you know, I always say about Ryder Cup players, there's players that want to be in the Ryder Cup team, and then there's players that want to play in the Ryder Cup. Well, these 4 want to play in the Ryder Cup. They want to be on the golf course, they want to win points, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes you forget that these 3 weeks from now to the Ryder Cup, you can lose a lot of form and you can gain a lot of form.
So the 4 wildcards have joined the team, and we can once again confirm it, just in case you're joining us late. There are the asterisk wildcards to join the whole team: Casey, Fleetwood, Garcia, Hatton, McIlroy, Molinari, Alex Noren, Bjorn, Ian Poulter, Jon Rahm, Justin Rose, and Henrik Stenson. Captain, of course, by Thomas Bjorn. So that's the team in place. Our global audience will be leaving us now, but after the break, Thomas and I will be looking ahead to the matches in Paris. Stay with us.
From Justin Leonard, unbelievably, it's Europe's Ryder Cup. In she goes.
Have we ever seen anything like this?
Oh, he's got it right in the heart of the hole.
So he must have enjoyed that.
This one is for him.
It's America's Ryder Cup.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.